if you're an Xbox fan or an Xbox owner and you're worried about the potential future of Xbox, raise your hand. I know probably count quite a few of you raising your hand, or at least saying, yeah, it's uncertain. I don't see how anybody in this climate could be okay with the direction of Xbox, or not even just the direction of Xbox, just the uncertainty of Xbox in general, right? Like the way that things have kind of gone. Realistically, I don't think any of us really foresaw that happening the way that it's happened, and that's really says a lot. You know what I mean? Microsoft, I think, probably had really good intentions with some of the things that they've done, but then I think that they've gotten far too corporate with a lot of the other things that they've done, and that's pretty obvious. Hopefully, there could be some kind of medium ground where, you know, everybody can kind of just be okay without being over. Like, I don't think as Xbox fans we're ever just going to be over the moon happy anymore, right? That's just probably not going to happen. There's too much corporate involved with Xbox. There's just no way for that to kind of back down now, right? It's like, and listen, whatever the case may be, I blame Phil Spencer for it, his idea for Activision, all that kind of stuff. With that being said, you kind of look at these things and you go, oh, man, they really did kind of hurt themselves with this. You know, they really managed to kind of screw themselves over, and that's the part that really hurts, because when you've kind of hurt yourself to the point where people believe just absolute ridiculous rumors, like if somebody were to say Nintendo's going to close up shop, you know, they're going to do this, that, or the other thing, they're going to put their games on PlayStation, how many people would believe that? I have to believe not many. You know what I'm saying? I just would have to believe that not many would believe that, because Sony, I mean, Nintendo has earned that kind of trust with the fans. But when Xbox is, they're going to stop producing, they're going to cancel their hardware, people believe it. The majority, in fact, actually believe that, and so that also says a lot. You know, where we're kind of looking at this situation and going, oh man, I could definitely see that happening. Yeah, I could see that happening too. And that's because Microsoft has put the fans in that situation. Now, what's funny here is there's a journalist who usually is kind of blows smoke up Microsoft's behind, says that the latest rumors are a huge challenge for Xbox. You know, it's crazy. But rumors about the imminent demise of Xbox are hardly new. They seem to kind of start swirling around every time Microsoft makes a controversial decision, which is a lot lately. But we've seen them dialed up to 11 after the recent Game Pass price hikes, and Tom Warren from The Verge believes they're becoming a huge challenge for the brand right now. After having covered a story about Microsoft having to come out to make a statement on select U.S. retailers and how they'll continue to stock Xbox products, this was followed up by Target themselves saying that they continue to sell Xbox games and accessories. And this is what Tom Warren said. He said, over the past week, some Xbox fans have been worried Microsoft is canceling its next-gen Xbox, or that Target and Walmart are pulling consoles from shelves. The fact that these rumors are believable is a huge challenge for Xbox themselves right now. Well, it's easy to agree that the brand feels like it's navigating some choppy waters at the moment. Of course, it should be highlighted that this comes with according to this article, it says vocal minority, but Xboxes aren't selling, people aren't buying games, and people don't trust Xbox. I think that's not the vocal minority. I think that's the majority, right? Like, no matter what, the fact remains that as bad as people say the Xbox One was, that pushed almost 60 million units. You know, because they did fix some things on the back end there to get people excited about the brand, and then they kind of, I don't see how you do worse than a console that was literally trying to steal gamers' rights, right? Like, that is crazy to me that they still did 60 million units on a platform that started off as bad as they did. You know, that is really weird. You know, rumors spread and they're believable. It must have gotten pretty bad for Xbox to come out and say something, for sure. And for people that are like, oh, it's the vocal minority, like this article, it's not the vocal minority. Like, the gamers that just in general are a lot smarter than they used to be. Like, there's gamers that are, you know, you see these videos on this stuff on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube Shorts and, you know, pretty much everywhere. Facebook, X, you know, so when you see all these things kind of everywhere like that, it just makes you kind of realize it. And the fact that people believe it just tells you how bad Microsoft has been. you know. It's crazy to me to see that this kind of stuff happens. They made their own bed with rumors like this. They let it fester. They constantly flip-flop their policies, anything that seems possible, for example. So, saying the Activision Blizzard King buyout would not lead to job losses or Game Pass increases, and then we look at what happened. Saying it's just 4 games, going multi-platform, when in fact it's just the beginning, as we all knew, but they sat up there and lied to everybody. One week Phil Spencer is praising how far Everwild has come, that he's looking forward to it, the next it's canceled, and that's not just the only example. It wasn't just Everwild. He was talking about how Perfect Dark was coming along, and how State of Decay is coming along, and how this game is coming along. They treat us all like idiots, and then backtrack on it, and then they wonder why people believe these rumors. It's crazy, but again, it's easy to see why this kind of happens, and what's happening in general with the Xbox brand. It's not a good thing, and it's not something that I feel Microsoft will ever be able to fully break away from. And that's super unfortunate, because if you think about it, Xbox used to be this brand that was like the outsiders, so to speak, in my opinion. It was like, if you were an Xbox gamer, you were an outsider, and you were probably some kind of really hardcore gamer. Like, some of the most hardcore gamers I ever knew were outsiders, and they were Xbox gamers. It was like, I remember back with the 360, they made you feel kind of be a part of something, right? And you felt a part of something, and you had like your rep and all that stuff. Remember back when people could like vote 5-star rep, and you could avoid people and stuff like that, and you could pick hey, I'm underground, I'm this, I'm that. It's like, it really let you kind of form your own thing. And now it really just kind of, what we see is something completely different, where gamers are honestly just, I guess, the last thought when it comes to some of this stuff. It's unfortunate, but again, Microsoft really it's hard. Like, who really could trust them at this point? Like, I feel like it's crazy to trust them. I mean, even if you look at normal new stuff that they're kind of talking about, right? Like, they released that PC handheld or whatever. Sarah Bond, even in the recent interview, she's like, yeah, you can take all your games, play every game, which is a huge lie, right? They built this thing up. It's just a PC handheld, right? Like, your console library isn't playable on this unless it's like a Play Anywhere title, and then you're just playing a PC version, right? So basically, if you bought, let's say you plan on buying GTA 6 next year, that's not going to be playable on it. College football, not playable on it. Just honestly, it's kind of funny, because the way that this is kind of working out and the way that this is going, it's easy to see that Microsoft is in a really poor position right now, and they've done it to themselves. I've mentioned this numerous times. Microsoft has done nothing but hurt themselves time after time after time, and the reason why they've hurt themselves is because their messaging is piss poor. They never can stick with something for longer than a few months or whatever the case may be, and it's a real shame that this has kind of happened the way that it has, because they've hurt themselves with their I mean, realistically, you could even go back to Crackdown 3, right? When you think about it, the way that kind of went about, and they were like, it's 4-player co-op, everything's destructible and disappears and all, right? I mean, the lies, and canceling Scalebound, you could just tell that they've done a lot of things that have really hurt the brand, and I'm not sure they'll ever really recover from that, unfortunately. So, like I said, I've mentioned this numerous times before, but until they make some changes at the top, in the leadership, and hire people that are, actual gamers and know what they're talking about and know what they're doing. And I would say, and not just hire gamers, but people that are fans of the console. I think that's something that needs to be done, because obviously, if you look at kind of what's going on right now, it's like they don't even have people that are fans of consoles. It's like they try this terrible marketing and all this stuff that makes no sense. And Uh, it's just crazy to me, you know, that they think they can get away with it, or they can treat gamers this way. So it's really bad to see that happening. But Microsoft have no one to blame but themselves. I'm sure you guys feel the same way. I'll link this. How do you guys feel about the challenges? Do you guys feel they're self-inflicted from Microsoft? Let me know down below. I certainly do appreciate it. Rack 'em up. Crab Gamer out.